Follow justice and justice alone, so that you may live and possess the land the Lord your God is giving you. Deuteronomy 16:20.
Let's journey back in time. We're heading to 18th century Europe, a time we call the Enlightenment. Humanity switched on the lights of reason and science. We started questioning everything, the very fabric of justice itself. From Milan, Cesare Beccaria emerges. He's about to drop a philosophical bombshell, the father of classical criminology. Before Beccaria, punishments were arbitrary and vengeful. Imagine being accused without knowing the law. Secret trials, a punishment designed as a gruesome public spectacle. Fear, not fairness. Beccaria, a philosopher armed with logic. He wrote Dei delitti e del pene on Crimes and Punishments, 1764. So what was Beccaria's big idea? At its core, it's beautifully simple. It's based on a concept we all get. Humans are rational. Rational doesn't mean perfect. People commit crimes when perceived benefit outweighs perceived cost. It's a calculation happening in the brain. We weigh the costs and benefits of actions even subconsciously. That leads to his principle of proportionality. The cost must be just slightly greater than the benefit, not 10 times greater, not 100 times greater, just enough to make the equation go negative. For example, stealing a loaf of bread satisfies hunger. It's like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Beccaria argued for a calibrated sliding scale of punishments. This ties into a utilitarian view. Laws and punishments should produce the greatest good for the greatest number. Now we get to two of Beccaria's most famous and defiant positions: his total opposition to torture and the death penalty. In an era when these practices were commonplace, his arguments were nothing short of cosmic heresy. For centuries, torture was used as punishment and as a routine method of investigation. The idea was to extract a confession. Beccaria pointed out the glaring flaw: torture tests endurance, not truth. A person with a high pain threshold could endure and be acquitted even if guilty. An innocent person with a low threshold would confess just to make the agony stop. Think of it as data. Torture produces unreliable data. It's a corrupted sensor. You're not measuring guilt, you're measuring pain tolerance. Beccaria called this a perversion of justice. It freed robust scoundrels and condemned weak, innocent people. The state, in its quest for truth, was creating lies. Did anyone give the state the right to take life? He said no. The right to life is fundamental. No one would willingly hand it over. The death penalty, he argued, is not the best deterrent. A quick execution is a fleeting spectacle. People are shocked, then they forget. He proposed instead a lifetime of servitude, hard labor, visible to the public, a constant living example of punishment. Imagine trying to play a game where the rules are secret. Or worse, the referee makes them up as they go along, applying one rule to you and a different one to your opponent. It would be chaos. It would be fundamentally unfair. This is exactly what the legal systems of Beccaria's time looked like. Laws were often written in Latin, a language most people couldn't read. They were complex, convoluted, and interpreted by a privileged class of judges. Beccaria looked at this mess and proposed a solution that was as simple as it was revolutionary. Laws must be clear, simple, and known to all. Every citizen should be able to pick up the law book and understand exactly what is permitted and what is forbidden. This transparency acts as its own form of crime prevention. This leads directly to equality before the law. The law should apply to everyone equally. The scales of justice must be blind. Beccaria insisted on separation of powers. Legislature makes law, judges apply it. Judges were not supposed to be interpreters or creators of law, they were meant to be its dispassionate applicators. By strictly defining these roles, he sought to build a system that was predictable, stable, and free from personal bias. While Beccaria spent a lot of time thinking about how to punish crime, his most forward-thinking ideas were about how to stop it from happening in the first place. He understood a simple, profound truth. It is better to prevent crimes than to punish them. Beccaria wanted to make it proactive. He believed that a society that invests in prevention will have far less need for prisons and the grim machinery of punishment. He argued that the surest but most difficult way to prevent crime is to perfect education. An educated populace is more likely to understand the laws and appreciate the benefits of a stable society. Knowledge illuminates the path of virtue. Vocational training and opportunity reduce the incentive for crime. By investing in the minds of citizens, the state makes a long-term investment in its own security and stability. It's about solving the problem at its source. Ultimately, Beccaria believed crime was a symptom of a poorly organized society. Laws that favor one group over another are seeds of crime. To truly prevent crime, you have to address corruption, unfair taxation, unequal legal systems, create opportunities and legal access for all. A just society is a safe society. A well-functioning, equitable society is the best defense against crime. The publication of On Crimes and Punishments was like dropping a star into a quiet pond. The ripples spread almost instantaneously. The book was quickly translated into French, English, and dozens of other languages. It became required reading in Enlightenment salons. Voltaire championed it, spreading ideas through pamphlets. Catherine the Great, Maria Theresa, and others began reforming legal codes inspired by reason and humanity. The medieval machinery of justice was dismantled piece by piece. Across the Atlantic, America's founding fathers embraced Beccaria. Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, James Madison read and absorbed his ideas. Read the Constitution and Bill of Rights, you hear Beccaria's echo. The Eighth Amendment's ban on cruel and unusual punishment traces back to him. 19th and 20th century legal modernizations worldwide look to his framework. Abolition of torture, decline of capital punishment. Economic models of crime apply his rational choice ideas. Hotspot policing and certainty of capture strategies reflect his deterrence principles. Sentencing guidelines to reduce bias continue his fight for equality and predictability. His ideas became the operating system for modern criminal justice. So here we are in 2025, more than 2.5 centuries after Beccaria published his little book. Does it still matter? Absolutely. His legacy is all around us, embedded in the very DNA of our justice systems. Every time a suspect is read their rights, every time a lawyer argues a sentence is disproportionate, every time a society debates the ethics of the death penalty, he shifted the paradigm from vengeance to human reason and social utility. The challenges, of course, continue. We still grapple with the questions he raised. Are our laws clear, applied equally? Do our punishments prevent or create more problems? Rehabilitation and education matter. Investing in mental health, job training, and community services is crime prevention of the highest order. He gave us the intellectual tools and the moral compass to engage these debates. The goal should always be to create a safer, fairer cosmos for all. By questioning, analyzing, and striving to improve them, we continue the Enlightenment project, pushing toward a more just, rational universe. Cesare Beccaria revolutionized criminology by promoting rational, humane, and just punishments aimed at deterring crime and protecting society rather than exacting revenge.
I can do all things through Christ which strengthened me. Philippians 4:13. This verse emphasizes faith, perseverance, and reliance on God's strength in all aspects of life, including challenges in law, justice, and moral decision-making. It serves as a reminder that with Christ's guidance, we can overcome obstacles, pursue righteousness, and uphold justice with integrity. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational content. See you in the next video.